Cover your ears, darling.
Would ye?
I'm not used to watching TV Monday to Friday. I mean, everyone else in the world is probably used to watching TV after 10 o'clock Monday to Friday, but me, it's still a novelty to me. Because this year, the very start of the year, started a new job. I worked long, stupid hours in my last job. 4:30 in the morning till about 4:30 in the morning the next day, so it was constant all the time, go, go, go. Now I'm on a 9 till 5. I get a bit of free time at night.
Do you get beyond the 6 o'clock news?
I get beyond the 10 o'clock news.
Wow.
This is... I actually forgot there was a news at 10 o'clock, you know that? I mean, the last time I watched news at 10, Trevor McDonald was still on the telly.
Bloody hell, that's been a while.
I miss Trevor McDonald.
Me too.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the point. I'm watching late night telly, and what am I watching right now?
Ghostbusters.
I wish. I haven't seen that in ages. Might watch that tonight.
The real Ghostbusters.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, wow.
Right, what are you watching? I feel like I've derailed you.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Chris Tarrant episodes, but at the moment it's the couples episodes that are on from like 20 years ago. So you've, instead of having just Joe Bloggs on his own going, who wants to be a millionaire? We've got one person on the hot seat. You've actually got a husband and a wife, or a boyfriend,
God.
girlfriend.
I remember how awkward those episodes were.
Do you want to know? It must be a real high pressure situation being in the millionaire hot seat. I've not been there myself. I want to be, but it must be real high pressure above the £32,000 mark, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what it's like if you're there with your wife and the two of you just cannot agree on an answer. One of you is right, one of you is wrong.
Oh, God.
And you've both got to have the same final answer. Look, I'm going to be brutally honest. I had an old girlfriend that we went out for a game of pool and we had an argument over whose shot it was and we didn't last the next day. So how the fuck do most relationships happen or still survive through Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
I wonder how many divorces it's responsible for. Can you imagine going to the Justice of the Peace and going, right, I've got my divorce paperwork. I should know what this is called, but I can't remember. Here's my divorce application. What are the grounds for divorce? Well,
fucking Chris Tarrant. Not actually fucking Chris Tarrant. I'm saying fucking Chris Tarrant, not fucking Chris Tarrant.
Grammar, kids. Grammar's very important.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's grammar's very important between helping your Uncle Jack off a horse and helping your Uncle Jack off a horse. Seriously though, could you imagine?
I can't imagine going on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire
and shagging Chris Tarrant.
I can't imagine that either, but
I don't want to give you that. I don't want to give you that. Oh, well, ask the audience.
So were you and your good lady? Were you and your good lady?
I was actually thinking, we'll go just the tip, 50-50.
I can't even carry on with that question. I was waiting to say, are you and your good lady wife going to go Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
What, take turns about with Jeremy Clarkson? Spit roast him. Can you imagine spit roasting Jeremy Clarkson?
No.
It would be the best sex orgy in front of an audience on a game show in the world.
Can you imagine that being on sale at Diddley Squat on the very top shelf above the eggs?
What,
and
Jeremy
moo
Clarkson's
juice?
sex video on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
I mean, you had that politician in Parliament, remember, who said he got caught watching porn when he was actually researching tractors. That would be a handy cop-out for Clarkson.
I don't remember this, but every politician has been caught with either prostitute or porn of some way, shape or form.
There was a guy, I want to say he was a Tory MP.
Shock.
He was watching something he shouldn't have been watching in the Commons.
Probably at taxpayers' expense.
Oh, no doubt. And his excuse was, I was Googling tractors. It's like that sketch in Little Britain, you know, with David Walliams. Whilst I was walking through Soho, I accidentally slipped. It was like one of them kind of cringy moments.
I accidentally slipped on my iPad and slipped with my finger across the screen and this hardcore pornography came on. Oh dear.
Whilst I was researching tractors. Yeah, I don't think that's one of those things that Jeremy Clarkson will be selling anytime soon, but I do fancy going to Clarkson's farm.
I fancy going there.
I don't know why, because I've seen the queues. It looks horrific trying to get in and out.
Yeah, but you might see him and he might sign off. I mean, I've got all his books. Mm-hmm. And Clarkson's, he doesn't come across very smart, but what is in his written word, he's an intelligent sounding bloke.
Well, the thing is, I often think that's a persona for telly, because it's like the whole Boris Johnson skit, isn't it? Boris Johnson is dead smart. He's also deadly dangerous. Yeah. But he plays this lovable buffoon kind of character. So that
I love you say lovable buffoon. I can't stand the man.
No, me neither, but certain people do. And it's because he comes across as this, oh, look at me, my trousers fell down. I mean, that's not always necessarily him trying to be a lovable buffoon.
Well, actually, going back to Clarkson, have you seen what he's been saying about exam results?
Oh, his yearly tweet of, I buggered up my exam results, but I'm a multi-billionaire.
Yeah, that sort of shit. He's actually enticing folk to not fail your exams, but if you fail your exams, it's not a big deal. What got me, see when you see all these kids on TV, live on the news, opening up their exam results, they always get the straight A student doing it, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, if they got a guy like me where they say, oh, open up your results, what did you get? Nothing. and straight away, that's when my mum would sit me around the table and say, well, what are you going to do with your life? Which is the truth, to be honest. I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I failed all my exams.
And they always go to the posh kid at the poshest school who's wearing the blazer and the tie.
Not a hair out of place.
It's the kid you know has been getting kicked shitless for weeks on end because they're such a swot.
Because they're getting the grades that they want. I mean, I got the shit kicked out of me at school all the time. I'm not even I actually did. But, well, here we are, 25 years later. Look at me now. Hey, look at them. They're all dead.
Would ye? That's like the best Red Dwarf quote you haven't made tonight. Everybody's dead, Dave. What, everybody? Yes, everybody's dead, Dave.
Shane Peterson.
Yes, Dave. Shane Peterson's dead.
Captain Hollister.
Captain Hollister, Dave.
Fucking Rimmer.
Yeah, fucking Rimmer.
Fucking Rimmer.
Fucking Rimmer. Everybody's dead, Dave. Everybody is dead. Everybody is dead, Dave. What's his face? Norman
Lovett.
Oh, he's brilliant.
I haven't seen... Has he done anything else by Red Dwarf?
I don't think he needs to. I mean, he goes to Comic-Con.
Does he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does.
I haven't seen him at a Comic-Con. I've seen other Holly, the lady.
Oh, yeah. Hattie.
Oh.
I'm going to have to consult Google again.
Hattie Hartridge, I think her name is.
Yeah, I think you could be right. Hattie Hartridge.
Hattie Hartridge. If you're listening, Hattie, I'm so sorry. I'm usually shit hot with my Red Dwarf encyclopedic knowledge, and your name has just slipped me tonight. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's not Hattie Hartridge.
Are you sure?
Yeah, hang on. Female Holly Red Dwarf has been Googled here before.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Am I right with Hattie Hartridge?
Hattie Hayridge.
Oh, Jesus, come on. I'm so salty. I'm so salty. I'm so sorry, Hattie. I'm so sorry.
David has been sotted. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
It's going to be one of them weeks.
Been a long day, you know.
I just drove to Manchester and back in the space of 36 hours.
Why would you do that?
If I said it was because I was bored, would you believe me?
No. I've done many things when I'm bored, and driving to Manchester back is not one of them.
Well,
I'm usually on the 900 channels back in the Sky days.
Remember that camp I went to a few weeks ago, the Single Parents Festival that my friends had gone to? They stayed on.
Okay.
So after Dundee, they came back up to Aberdeen, got some clean clothes, spent the night here, went back down the road again, left the car in Kerrymuir, jumped in someone else's car, got to Stoke.
Just a randomer's car. They just dumped the car in Kerrymuir and found some randomer that was going the same way.
Who happened coincidentally to be going exactly the same way to exactly the same event, yes.
Yeah, it's quite a coincidence if you ask me.
And after that coincidence, they found someone else who took them from Stoke down to Surrey, to this little village of Farnham.
That's a very big coincidence. Were they going to Farnham?
They were.
This is a major coincidence.
It's a massive coincidence.
Wow.
But the problem is, they're then at the arse end of the country. I mean, this is like go down to London and turn right.
Yeah, it's arse end of nowhere.
It's kind of no man's land, and their car is 500 miles north or more.
It's very much where the greater good kind of communities.
You're kind of creeping from posh, hello, Jacob Reith-Mogg here to greater good.
That's exactly where I'm going to.
Kind of no man's land. So we were all trying to work out how they'd get back home easily. Now, for a lot of folk, you go to London, you jump on a plane. Not an option. They didn't have ID with them for the flight. Also, my pal's wee boy has ADHD, so you can imagine the pressure cooker that is taking him on a train in the busiest city in the country, if not, the world, world.
Aye.
It's up there. That wasn't an option.
Okay.
So what they did is they got the train as far north as Manchester. They were going to then regroup with the organiser of the event, who had her hire van, which was full of people and stuff,
Right.
and convene in Manchester and then figure out a plan from there.
And what was the grand plan here? What was the grand
Payoff.
payoff? Yeah.
I drove down from Aberdeen.
You're a mug.
But that's the thing you do for friends. I mean, this is the kind of friend you go round there during the week after work and there's a plate of dinner waiting for you. If you need a lift somewhere, the car's outside waiting. You know what I mean? It's,
Yeah, but still, Manchester's a good 6 hour. No wonder you're knackered.
well, you know,
No wonder you're. I'll tell you why I'm knackered, right? This is why I forget Hattie Hayridge. That's why I forget
Well,
her
well
name,
done,
you know,
well
yes,
done.
yeah. Do you want to know why I'm so tired?
because you were up late last night watching the adult channel again.
No. I was actually out with the missus last night.
All right.
I don't know how people can survive in this economic climate that we've got right now. Everything's so fucking expensive.
For example,
Well, we went to the pub last night. I took her out for a few drinks at the local pub. 2 cocktails each and a bag of cocaine. 600 quid. Could you imagine if that was a family of 4?
well, you've been looking for a meal deal. Free Coke.
It's a very happy meal if you ask me.
Well,
You get your burgers, you get your chips and a bag of cocaine.
would you like to make some of that money back? I have a chance for you to make £43.
That doesn't touch the tip of the iceberg here, but yeah, okay. I want to have £43.
You'll get you a bag of chips at your Coke party. Would you
Would you?
stuff a raw trout in your mouth for £43? By the sounds of it, before you even answer, I think you've been doing worse.
I've had worse things in my mouth, so have I got to stuff the whole thing in my mouth in the one go? Because trouts are quite big.
It doesn't say, it just says, would you stuff a raw trout in your mouth for £43?
Yeah, so I have to stuff it in my mouth, and I'm
That
assuming
implies it's the whole thing.
Yeah, so my mouth ain't big enough. This is like one of those like rigged carnival things, where you got to do a hoopla around something, but you can't.
You don't
hoop's
win
not
the
big enough.
goldfish.
No, you never win the grand prize. You no, you win a nasty STD.
The claw machines I use don't even give you that.
Well, let's face it, if you're itchy down there after catching a nasty STD, you need the right claw to give it a right good scratch.
Oh, God. Right, let's move swiftly on. Would you stuff a raw trout in your mouth for £43?
Can I ask a question? Do I get the £43 if I fail?
I mean, as long
If
as you give it a good effort.
I'll give it a good effort for £43, aye. I just won't manage to fit the whole goddamn thing in my mouth.
Would you? By the way, it doesn't actually specify you have to have chips for the trout, so I think your £43 is ebbing nearer.
Can I just be frank? When was the last time you ever heard of trout and chips? Haddock and chips, cod and chips, plaice and chips. Yeah, trout is served with asparagus and steamed veg.
You served with asparagus.
I mean, when was the last time you had salmon and chips?
Last week.
No, you have salmon sandwiches or a grilled salmon with veg and shit. I'm sure grilled trout's the same thing.
To be fair, I'm not a fan of salmon.
You're not a fan of salmon?
No. I'm not a fan of salmon, if I'm honest, so
You're not a
I
fan
don't
of
really know the etiquette. I just associate fish with chips and batter, because Scottish.
Well, if you're on about etiquette with food, here's a nice would you for you. Would you lick a dead rat for 12 quid?
No,
Can I just stop you right there? Have you ever seen Demolition Man?
I have not.
You've never seen Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone?
I don't think I have.
In a dystopian future in Los Angeles.
Where they all lick dead rats.
Close. Stallone goes into the backyard, into the underground where all the rejects of society live, and he's ordering a burger. And Sandra Bullock's character's looking at him disgustingly as he's eating this burger. And they're saying, what's going on? He says, it was just a burger. He says, yeah, but when's the last time you saw a cow? And he says, what's this burger made of? Rat. So in the future, we're eating rat burgers.
I'm going to disagree with you
I
there.
disagree. Well, I'm going to say in the future, we're eating rat burgers, but when was the last time? I can't remember the last time I watched Demolition Man. That dystopian future is only a couple of years away.
I think that dystopian future already has been and gone, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, but is this because it's now illegal to swear and you can't say booty a ghost now?
No, it's because I know a friend who was served a rat burger at a chain restaurant in Perth.
How do you know it was a rat burger? Did you bite into it and it went squeak?
Well, it was about the size of rats. This is a true story. I used to be in this car club, and every year we would do a Christmas meet-up, and we'd go to, like, like a Premier Inn or somewhere cheap and cheerful, and they always have that on-site restaurant. So for legal reasons, I'm not going to mention the fact it was Harvester. But we went, and there was like 20 of us, and we'd gone in, and we're all like on a budget. So we got in this Sunday lunchtime, and to be fair, the place was dead. We went in and we ordered like cheap and cheerful, like, I'll have a bowl of soup, I'll have a bag of chips, I'll have a Coke. And my pal was like, right, screw this, I'm splurging out. He was from Fife and he was not being a typical Fifer. He's like, I'm splurging out, I'm going for the steak sandwich, eh? So he orders the steak sandwich, and I swear to God, it was 2 bits of Hovis with margarine on them and this tiny little slither of supposed meat. And from there on in, we knew it was rat burgers because outside the restaurant, all the rats were converging.
How big was it, would you say, like in the size?
About the size of a rat.
So about, 10 inches long, maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, it might have been a gerbil or a hamster. Hamster burgers. We're in Freddie Starr territory here. Did you eat a hamster?
I remember one year, my mum did this really cruel thing of she got venison burgers, but she told us they were reindeer burgers. And this was like a few days before Christmas. She made us burgers and chips for teas, and I'm like, this is a bit chewy. And she went, yeah, that's Rudolph.
It's not as funny as watching my mate's daughter watching Peppa Pig while eating a bacon sandwich. That cracks me up every time I see it. Look at Peppa! How does Peppa taste? Mmm.
Silent.
Well, they don't know the difference. If you're eating a pig, I don't want to go and start converting people to vegetarianism. Bacon cures vegetarianism. It's fact. So, tell me, would you like a dead rat for 12 quid?
No. Would you?
Speaking of rat burgers, Kerry Katona, my favourite human being in the whole wide world. I think I've mentioned this in the past. I really can't remember if I have or not. But I find it a bit weird that Kerry Katona charges 60 quid to say happy birthday to somebody on Cameo, but you're a tenner a month to subscribe to her OnlyFans.
That is a bit weird.
She gets her minge out for cheaper than it says to say happy birthday, so what does that tell you about this woman's immense talent?
More people want to look at her minge.
Do you want to know? Whoever wants to see her gibbon should really have her head examined, do you know what I mean?
I mean, she's been to Iceland, it's going to be frozen.
To be honest, if you really want to go and see her fanny, why not just sit in the back garden with a doner kebab or volley a lasagna about in your back garden? The result's exactly the same, to be honest with you.
Oh, God. It's a mental image I don't think I need to see.
What, Kerry Katona's gibbon?
That's why mums go to Iceland. Would you?
I mean, it's a bit late to think about it right now, but New Year's resolutions.
We're quite late.
Well, I made a resolution myself to go and do a wee bit more outdoorsy stuff, but...
You've been making that resolution for like 10 years.
I just changed the date at the top of the page, mate. That's all I do.
Scroll right to 3, make it a 4.
Have you actually thought, like, you've got resolutions yourself, correct?
I have had in the past.
Right, I'm going to guess one of them is you're going to go to the gym.
Yeah, keep fit, yeah.
Keep fit, yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, incidentally, that's kind of where this widget comes from.
Oh, God.
So, when was the last time you were at the gym, might I add?
Last January, February.
So you'll probably know when you go to the changing room in the gym, there's usually a sort of like a bench seating area where folk dump their bags.
You see,
and then they unpack their bags and put the trainers out and all that stuff. Then they've got the locker behind them, kinda.
I'm maybe that weirdo who tries to go to the gym ready for the gym. I don't like communal changing facilities.
No, but you are
kind
aware.
Of skip past, put my bag in the locker. Yeah,
I'm not saying do you use that facility, but you are aware of the layout of a changing room, basically. So
you got the bench.
So here we go. Would you go into a gym changing room and empty your gym bag, which incidentally is full of sex toys, then get dressed for your gym workout, and then walk into the gym as if nothing happened? For a tenner.
No. You didn't expect this one to be over so quickly? No.
I'd like to discuss. I mean, you've got all these like 9-inch wobbly dicks, and you've maybe got a gimp mask or something like that, and maybe a pair of assless chaps, but you're just taking them out your bag, putting them at one side, and putting your regular gym kit.
Casually, as if nothing else has happened.
As if nothing else has happened. You've opened your bag and you thought, I've just put my sex stuff on top of my gym stuff. Oh well, and you unpack them, you put them there so everyone can see, and there's some old guy with a towel just drying himself up going, what the fuck is that? And then
he's probably thinking they're his.
Hers.
if he sounds like Herbert from Family Guy, he probably thinks there is.
No, Herbert's more like that. So, do you like sex toys?
Right.
So the question is, I'm not asking you, would you turn on a man by an old
Sounding
geezer
like Herbert, no.
by putting a dildo on the table or whatever, just as if I've got my stuff there. All right, now I'm getting my trainers on, I'm getting my shorts on, a wee squirt of deodorant, pack everything away, and then look nobody in the eye and just leave them to their own devices for a tenner.
I have a problem with this.
I'm glad you've got a problem with this. I'm not suggesting you actually do it.
There's a lot of problems with this.
Right.
I don't think there's enough money attached to it. Now, had it been a case of it was an open-ended one, and you say that, would you, right?
Right, yeah.
And I could do it at the Pure Gym, which is 24 hours. Then you could maybe slide in at 5 o'clock in the morning. Because that has not been stipulated. There is no time scale on this widget.
There's no time scale, but I think it'd be more funny though if you did it when there was several folk there. And I'm not talking it's like...
It's the risk of being caught, isn't it? That's the thing.
There's no risk. You are going to get caught if you open up all the bag and you've got all this inflatable sheep in there or whatever.
Unless you go at 5 o'clock on a Sunday morning when nobody in their right mind's at the gym. But
so why are you at the gym, might I add?
Because it's open and I paid my membership and I'm kidding myself on.
Right, okay, if you've paid your membership, that tenner, Pure Gym, that's a month's membership.
I don't think there's any circumstance where a tenner is enough monetary reward.
Right,
Not for that level of embarrassment. What I was getting at was, even if it's 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning, there's that slim chance somebody's coming off night shift, maybe a bouncer or something. They're going to come bounding into the gym, you know what like, and you're sitting there emptying all this out on the bench and they're looking at you thinking, did I drink tonight? No, I don't think a tenner's enough.
Well, I'm maybe going to say this as well, but if you're going there on a Sunday morning and this is a guy that's finished his night shift, presumably he's just dealt with all the drunkards on a Saturday night, and you think of swingers clubs as a Saturday night activity, probably. What I'm getting at here is, Saturday night all sorts of stuff goes on. If you did it on a random Wednesday afternoon, everyone's at work anyway, so it'll be there'll be the sporadic person here or there going in or whatever. So $10, that's the deal, I think.
No.
Yeah, right, well, here's a widget first. Name your price.
I don't think there's any amount of money on this planet where I'm going to go into a packed gym and do that.
So you're saying you do it for nothing?
No, I'm saying I wouldn't.
This will be very pleased.
I'm saying I wouldn't do it for any monetary value or lack of monetary value. Not a chance.
Thanks for listening.
Would you do us a favour and check back again next week?
And don't forget to find and like us on the socials.
Would you?